Well, Merry Christmas, guys. Hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, spending time with your family, friends, loved ones. It's an absolutely stunning time of year. These nice balmy nights. It allows you to wear something a little bit less rugged up than normal. So I'm tipping you all ate a little bit too much at Christmas. Well, I know I did anyway, hence why I'm out tonight, guys. I've got to try and burn off some of that, the turkey and pork, ham, everything else that came with Christmas. Well, I'm headed out tonight, just around about an hour from home, just the other side of Western Port Bay, to a place called Tenby Point. It's since it's on the edge of Western Port Bay, there's a lot of mangroves around the area, and they're not picturesque beaches, but there are stunning bushes to photograph, stunning bits of rock, coastline, rugged coastline, etc. So I'm actually quite excited to come down here. I've never actually come down here before, so it's nice to have a look around and see what's here and see what I can work with. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, what I've had to refresh myself to do is just to slow down when I'm on these shoots. So what I'm deciding to do tonight is try and come up with 3 compositions, and that's it. So what I'm doing at the moment is just having a walk up and down the beach here, just to see if I can find 3 compositions that I'm really happy with, when they're going to work best, whether they're going to work best before the sun sets, after sunsets, etc., and concentrate on those, get those right, and leave it at that. So that way I'm putting more thought into the process rather than just finding something that looks good, taking a photo, and then either sitting there for an hour trying to get the one perfect shot, or getting frustrated walking up and down. So that's the plan for tonight anyway. Now, I've already found a couple that'll work nicely, so I'm just going to keep walking up the beach and see what else I can find. Even though I've never actually been down here before, I know of a few little shots I would like to compose around the area. Now, I know there's an old historic jetty just around the corner on this inlet. There's also these 3 mangrove trees just here. Now, the path from the car just comes down the cliff straight to these trees. Absolutely beautiful spot. I was actually quite surprised there's barely a breath of wind down here. The water's relatively calm. It's a gorgeous night for it. However, I've just ducked around the corner to a historic jetty to have a look, and it's actually blowing pretty strong winds around there, and the sea's very choppy, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a composition around there. It's just going to be almost too hard with the filters in play, and there's a lot of spray happening around there at the moment. It's actually quite windy. I will duck around there after I've gotten this shot at sunset, and hopefully I can catch a little bit of that last light colour, and the wind might have died off by then. But for now, I'm going to concentrate on this composition. I'm probably going to take 2 different compositions here. One is just using one of the trees as the main focus of the image, running a long exposure, probably 30 seconds or so, to smooth everything out, and try and, as I said, just make that tree that subject and isolate it from everything else. Another one will be to include that single tree as well as the bush next to it, and catch some of these rocks in the foreground, because they're nice and wet from the receding tide at the moment, and it'll add a nice bit of shimmer, a nice bit of contrast leading into the image. So they're my 2 ideas for this spot, and then, as I said, I'll duck around the corner at the end and see how we go. Well, I'm all set up with a typical combination of MISTI filters that I use. The circular polarizer, 3-stop graduated neutral density, and also a 6-stop neutral density. And this has given me a 30-second exposure at f11 at ISO 100. Now the sun's starting to set now, and it's casting some beautiful colour onto the high cloud, which is exactly what I was hoping for. It's turned out perfect. So with a 30-second exposure, I'm really softening that water out, removing any texture from the waves, but retaining the gorgeous texture in the tree in the shot. And I'm also leading into the shot with a fallen, rotted bit of wood in the water, which is it's working stunning, guys. So I'm just going to run one more exposure because we've got a little splash more colour up in the clouds. So 30 more seconds and we'll be done. Stoked with that last exposure. That beautiful touch of colour in the sky. That's what I was after. Now what's happened is the high cloud has actually moved to the right of the tree I was trying to use, so I have actually lost a bit of colour from behind it, but what I've done is move my composition further around to the left. I'm now getting the tree and one of the bushes as the subject, so two of them just centralised in the composition, which is looking absolutely fantastic. And there's some gorgeous colour in the sky at the moment. Some orange turning pink at the moment, and that's gonna continue. And the high cloud is actually moving at a good pace. So what I've done is I've dropped the 10-stop neutral density in this time, and I'm going for around about a 5-minute exposure, which is going to soften that water out. It's going to be smooth, and then hopefully get some beautiful pink and orange streaks in the sky.
Just stay one more minute.
Rookie mistake. You wouldn't believe what I've just done. I've set the stopwatch on my phone. I've clicked the shutter release on. I've stopped the exposure at 7 minutes on the dot, thinking that'd be perfect. It's come out real dark. Why is that? I left it at a 30-second exposure. I forgot to flick it over to bulb mode, didn't I? Oh no. Oh. I've still got a touch of colour in the sky now, so I've got the neutral density. I've got the 10-stop neutral density in again. Oh, this is going to blow out to nearly a 10-minute exposure now because the light's dropped off. I've bumped my ISO up to about 320 just to compensate for the dropping light, but I'm still going to have to run this around the 10-minute exposure time. I can't believe I've just done that, guys. Mistakes happen. What can you do? I'll be back in 10 minutes, won't I? Alright guys, well, all packed up, time to head home. So thanks again for following me on this one. Always check your settings, guys, always check your settings. That was a big mistake there, and it could have been a phenomenal image. Not to worry anyway, gives me an excuse to get back out here. So if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Cheers.